Several of you requested follow-up stories from CH, the submitter of the most recent story, and she obliged. She took the time to write down the most recent experience that she's had. So, without further ado, this started about 5 months ago in the house I am living in now. All of my life, I have gotten used to seeing shadow figures in my peripherals darting around. Usually, when I go to look at them, they will disappear as if they were never there in the first place. I grew up with this being commonplace for me, while also being aware that it's not uncommon for the majority of other people as well. I hear stories of shadow people all the time. Well, whatever this thing is different. I have catamenial cyclical vomiting syndrome, which makes the bathroom like a second living room to me. I also have a toddler, so leaving the bathroom door open is a need right now, since I can't hear what's going on when it closed. One afternoon, I was sitting on the toilet, scrolling on my phone with the door open, minding my own business, when from the corner of my eye, I watched as something looked like it walked up to the left side of the bathroom doorway, and it was so tall that in order for it to be able to fit its head into the top left corner of the door frame, it had to crouch down a bit as it entered. At first, I registered it as just another shadow figure, but when I actually paid attention to it, it had color and shapes where the face was. It looked like a man from my peripherals. I turned my head to look at it, thinking it would be gone like they usually are, but instead, I watched this thing quickly turn to my left and dart out of view into my hallway. Now, if I hadn't already seen a mimic pretending to be my mom, had a demon screaming at me and my sister threatening us, seen an alien, and all of the other things that have happened to me, I would have definitely been freaking out. But all these things have happened to me, so my genuine first reaction to this was, "Oh, come on, seriously, not again. Please don't bother us." This was not the last time that it happened either. The next time I saw this thing, I was sitting up in bed at night watching TV with my fiance before bedtime. Our bedroom door is to the left side of our bed, and I sleep on the side closest to the door. From the corner of my eye, I saw this thing sneaking up to the side of the door frame again, crouching itself down to fit its head around the door frame and peeking at us from around our bedroom door. I looked over at my fiance without moving my head. He hadn't noticed. This is when I turned my head to look at the thing in the doorway, and again I watched this thing quickly turn and leave. Except this time, it went into the direction of my sleeping toddler's bedroom. I immediately got up out of bed, and without even having the time to say anything to my fiance, I ran into my son's room and turned on his light, ready to fight whatever 10-foot tall creature was in there, only to find nothing was in there with him. My fiance is terrified of these things, so when I told him what I was seeing, he got really scared. So now I've got two little babies to protect from this 10-foot tall creature that keeps staring at me from doorways. It's been only those two things so far that I've fully seen it. Nothing else has happened in this house yet besides having a huge, loud crashing sound in the living room, like the TV fell off the stand or something, and going in there only to find nothing fell and everything is fine. Not long after we moved in here, I was laying in bed once during an episode when I felt I was really sick and I felt something crawl into the bed with me. I saw nothing, but I felt it crawling up in the bed next to my legs. Then it patted the bed 3 times next to my thigh and disappeared. It didn't feel like it was any heavier than a big house cat or a small dog. If I can remember anything else, I will let you know. There was one story from my stepmom that scared me a lot, even though I wasn't there. It's short, but it's so creepy. She was in her 20s and renting out apartments with friends back then, and one day she was standing in the kitchen with her roommates having a good time, making lunch and joking around together. The basement door was inside of the kitchen. All of a sudden, they started hearing something moving around in the basement, making a lot of noise. Then they heard whatever it was down there scream a scream unlike any animal or human they'd ever heard. And then they heard whatever it was start sprinting up the basement stairs, and it slammed into the basement door so hard it flung wide open. Nothing was found there, of course, upon investigation, and they were also terrified that they packed their things and they each went back to their parents' houses that night. Wow, terrifying stuff, CH. Thanks again for taking the time to write down another great story for us by popular demand. I had at least a dozen people say that they wanted to hear the rest of your story, so we really appreciate that. Thank you guys. That's been Jay's Haunted Appalachia for tonight. Keep sending me your stories and suggestions, folks, and keep Appalachia haunted, y'all.